What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is Horsepower Cove. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, it is up to us anglers to think about what fish we want to catch, how we're going to catch them, what are the fish doing. There are certain times of the year where it's easier to catch certain fish based on their behaviors or simply based on the water temperatures. So it's very important to think about what fish you're targeting, what lures and bait you're going to be using to get those fish. Now in this video here today, we're going to take all of that together and throw it out the window. Now I kind of need to explain. Now it may not seem like it, but I do actually put quite a lot of thinking and work into making a video, trying to figure out what type of fish will be biting and trying to specifically target those fish so that I can get some fish in the videos. And that has an effect where I'm kind of doing the fishing that I'm thinking about, thinking what's going to be working rather than simply doing whatever it is I want to do out there. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still important to think about what you're doing, but rather than simply just going with my head today, I'm going to try and follow my heart. All right, so it is March. This is typically the time of the year where we start talking about spawn seasons, all different sorts of fish getting ready for spawn, kind of pre-spawn at the moment. So you would expect some fish trying to fatten up. Now that being said, this year in particular, we have higher water levels and cooler water at the moment. But it is generally the transition phase at the moment. You will start to find fish staging up, coming up shallower, trying to find food before they start making their beds. So rather than trying to do the smart thing and going for some stripers or for some trout, I'm rather going to try and find some of these difficult fish, see whether they have moved up already. Now on my hike over here, hiking around, I only saw 3 fish in the water out there today, and all 3 of them have been carp. Now seeing carp up shallow, that's a good sign, but that does not mean that they are feeding. That just means they are coming from the deeper water up shallow. But we're going to see if they are willing to go for some food. So my first setup is going to be my carp setup. We're going to throw out some oats and jello with some corn and some night crawlers, trying to cover as much ground as possible. Maybe get some catfish or something to go for the night crawler while the corn is for the carp. We'll throw that out there. Hopefully we can get a feeding area and get fish drawn into this area. If not, we're just throwing some food into the water, and in a week or 2 maybe they'll start feeding. It's a good thing for them to find some food so that they can go into the spawn quite healthy. But the carp setup, we're going to throw that out there. That's going to soak a long time in the water, hoping for some fish to find it, giving us the opportunity to use a second rod. And even though it's not the ideal time to be doing it, today I'm going to be throwing around some bass lures, in particular something like a little Ned rig. I want to throw that around, see if maybe some smallmouth or largemouth bass have moved up shallower. This is around the time where they should start be moving up, maybe going to secondary points and stuff. Some of the males will come up early. So I'm going to be throwing around lures, see if we get any interest. This is not the ideal time to be doing it. I think another 3 weeks or so would be better, but I want to do this today, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw out some lures. If you were wondering whether the rain and snow we've been getting lately has made any difference to Lake Mead, well, it has. Over here we have that World War II ship that's again underwater for the moment. No one knows how long it's going to be underwater again. But at the moment, the water has risen to the point where this thing is underwater again. Alright, it's now been 3 hours and we haven't had a single hit on our little baits out there. This kind of reminds me what it's like fishing back where I'm from in South Africa. We're used to fishing in winter, throwing out baits, having to wait hours, maybe days to get any fish. We don't have any trout being stocked. We don't have stripers to target. The fish we have back there, they tend to shut down during winter. So this is very reminiscent of winter fishing in South Africa, not getting as many bites. Back in South Africa, we don't have this much helicopters going by, going on little tours to the Grand Canyon, nor do we have a big bathtub ring. Surely we don't have any big snow-covered mountains near the lakes that I used to fish. And seeing as how we've not had any hits on our little baits, I'm thinking maybe we're gonna take our stuff, move to some different spots, see if we can find some fish somewhere. I have been seeing fish jump in this area, but don't know if it's shad or something. Nothing chasing any lures, nor going for our baits. So I think it's about time we move around a bit. Alright guys, today's fishing session kind of turned out the way you would expect, going for some bass and carp in cold water. And you might even ask, what's the point of this video? Well, quite simply, the idea behind the video is the overall theme this entire time. When you go out fishing using your mind, you are more likely to hook some fish. Whereas if you go fishing using your heart, you're more likely to get hooked yourself. Now, I knew this was a long shot to try and do this type of fishing out there, especially when the waters are still this cold. But at the end of the day, it's the type of fishing I wanted to do. And even though I didn't get any fish out there, it was still fun. And that's the important thing. You need to enjoy it when you go out there fishing. It's very easy to watch YouTube videos and see people catching lots of fish. You go out there and you don't get those fish. And it is rather easy to get put off when something like that happens. But never try and be like a YouTuber. You do you. Find your reason for going fishing. Whether it be something as simple as you like to catch all the fish out there, or maybe you have a goal of catching a new state record, or maybe you just want to show your friends that you are the better fisherman. Whatever your reason for going fishing, make sure you find your reason for going fishing and enjoy it when out there, even when you do get skunked. Now, of course, it still sucks to get skunked, so definitely going to get on some fish in the next video. But I do hope that this video resonates with someone out there at least. And I want to thank you guys for following on this trip. Please remember to do all the things like, comment, subscribe. And with that, guys, I think I'll see you guys next time.